Welcome back to Reactions Jay. I am Jay and I'm your host. Today we are going to react to really terrifying opening scenes. I don't like scary movies. It just doesn't make me feel good, you know? It's more like I finish the movie and I'm like, holy cow, is there a monster under my bed? Or holy cow, am I about to die? Or something to that effect, you know? But anyways, Looper made this video. Let's take a look, see what it says, you know? It's a good way to start off the day.
Usually the best horror films are in their scares with gradually escalating tension. The following flicks, however, jump straight into the scares before the audience even gets settled in their seats. Many of them are among the scariest movies ever made, and every one of them boasts opening sequences that are certain to have the faint of heart nervously eyeing the exits. These are some of the most terrifying opening scenes in horror history. It Follows. As one of the breakout horror film hits of 2014, everything about It Follows seemed designed to keep the viewer permanently off guard. Its methodical pace mirrored that of its monster, a relentless pursuer who could appear as anyone and could only be shaken off by passing the curse to someone else.
See? Everything's okay.
In its terrifying opening, we follow an obviously traumatized young woman as she flees down a street to the beach. Something else is following her. We don't know what it is yet, but we know she's scared to death, and by the end of the scene, we know it was for good reason. Some viewers may have been put off by the movie's ambiguous ending, but there was certainly nothing ambiguous about its opening, a masterclass in nerve-jangling terror. Split. M. Night Shyamalan was on top of the world after the success of 1999's The Sixth Sense, and after a long rocky stretch, he returned to form with 2016's Split. This psychological thriller is anchored by James McAvoy as Kevin Crowe.
Oh, he does a great job.
Man with 23 different personalities, plus an additional one only known as the Beast. The opening scene illustrates every teen's worst nightmare as a trip to the mall for three teenage girls turns suddenly sinister as Crumb nonchalantly takes his place in the driver's seat. It. Stephen King's It is widely regarded as being among the finest of his standalone novels, and its 1990 TV miniseries adaptation scared the pants off of many a 90s child.
Bring your friends!
The opening scene in which young Georgie encounters Pennywise while looking for his paper boat in a storm drain is familiar to many, which makes the version offered by the 2017 adaptation all the more shocking.
Hey, tell me what you thought about that
pre-release
2017
speculation centered on whether Bill Skarsgård would be able to live up to Tim Curry's classic turn as the evil clown monster, but that question was answered definitively within seconds of the appearance of those predatory eyes floating in the darkness of the storm drain. It's an opening that would have been all too easy to mess up, but instead the sequence established a vicious tone for one of the best horror films of the year. Halloween. John Carpenter's 1978 masterpiece gave birth to 1,000 horror tropes. It was a film unlike anything fans of fright flicks had ever seen, and that includes its opening sequence, which put the viewer squarely in the shoes of a maniac. The scene leads us through the halls of a suburban home from the point of view of an unknown person who dons a clown mask, grabs a huge kitchen knife, and uses it to stab a teenage girl. The first-person point of view is only broken at the scene's end, when the girl's parents arrive home to find the murderer standing on their front lawn, revealed to be the victim's 6-year-old brother, Michael Myers.
Michael?
How would it be to be that child actor? I don't know if I feel good with my life, being Mike Myers for the rest of my life.
Which anyone brave enough to sit through the first 5 minutes of his breakout hit could have easily predicted. Cube. Released in 1997, Cube operated with a mind-bending sci-fi premise that revealed itself gradually after a stunningly effective cold open. A man awakens to find himself in a cube-shaped room with several apparent points of exit, completely unaware of how he got there or what he is supposed to do. After finding all exits to be essentially identical, he picks one and goes through. And then... the rest of the film features some similarly violent scenes, but none of them blindsided us quite so hard as the first. The Hitcher. A young man picks up a hitchhiker by the side of the highway in the middle of nowhere on a dark and stormy night.
My mother told me never to do this.
That's a pretty spooky premise on its own, but 1986's The Hitcher quickly turns it into something even more sinister, with an opening scene that left audiences with no doubts about where the movie was going.
Because I cut off his legs, and his arms, and his head. And I'm gonna do the same to you.
This opening scene introduces Rutger Hauer's John Ryder as an agent of pure mayhem, and Hauer's performance makes his previous turn as psychotic replicant Roy Batty in Blade Runner look positively endearing by comparison.
You want to know what happens to an eyeball when it's punctured?
Evil Dead. Horror film fans had plenty of reason to be wary of 2013's soft reboot of Sam Raimi's classic Evil Dead. But those fans had no way of knowing at the time that the project was in the hands of a major talent. Writer/director Fede Alvarez, who made no attempt to rehash what had worked in the previous series, but brought a wickedly inventive tone all his own instead. The film opens with a terrified young woman being hunted down and captured in the woods by her own family, who appear to be religious fanatics bent on burning her alive. But as her father fumbles with the matches, the woman's tearful pleas take a hard left turn, and it suddenly becomes obvious that the only terrible mistake this family made was not getting that fire started a lot sooner.
I will rip your soul out, Daddy. I'll rip your soul out.
Thanks for watching. Click the looper icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel, plus check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.
Ew. Twisted. Ugh. Sick. Ugh. Gosh. Scary openings. What do you guys think? Hey, it's early for me. You guys told me in the comments. Thank you for watching. Have a fantastic day, everyone.
Go.